Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you're deep in the scroll, maybe browsing your favorite online store, eyeing that perfect pair of sneakers, you know the ones.
We've all been there.
Or maybe it's the latest tech gadget that, let's be honest, you might not strictly need, but you really want.
Yeah, the shiny new thing.
Exactly. You check your bank balance and,
Yeah,
well, it's looking a little lean. Maybe the dream has to wait.
that familiar feeling.
But then this little button just appears at checkout, almost whispering, yes, you can afford it. Just split the cost into 3 interest-free installments.
The magic button.
Right. No complicated credit checks,
Yeah.
no piles of paperwork approved in seconds. That, my friends, is the incredibly seductive simplicity of Buy Now, Pay Later, or BNPL, as we'll probably call it.
It really is seductive. That's the right word.
Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into the world of Buy Now, Pay Later, but with a critical focus. Its, well, explosive growth and its profound impact right here in South Africa.
Yeah, the local context is key here. It's not quite the same everywhere.
Absolutely. Our mission for this deep dive is to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge about BNPL, specifically within the South African context.
Oh.
We'll explore exactly what it is, dissect how it works from all angles, identify the major players shaping this really dynamic market, and crucially understand why it's booming here and what that means for you, the South African consumer, and, the broader financial landscape.
Right, the ripple effects.
We're going to peel back the layers, looking at the undeniable convenience, which is huge, but also examining the often unseen complexities and potential pitfalls of this rapidly expanding financial tool.
Definitely need to look at both sides.
Get ready, because this is a financial revolution happening right before our eyes. It really feels that big.
It does feel quite transformative, yeah.
So before we immerse ourselves too deeply into the unique South African situation, let's just make sure we're all operating from the same foundational understanding. What precisely is Buy Now, Pay Later? It seems straightforward, but there are nuances, aren't there?
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks simple on the surface, but there's a bit going on underneath.
Yeah.
At its very core, BNPL is essentially a type of short-term loan.
Okay. A loan.
Yes, even if they don't always call it that. It allows shoppers like you to acquire goods or services immediately, like upfront.
Right.
And then settle the cost later in a series of small, predetermined, fixed installments.
Fixed installments. Got it.
Its fundamental appeal really lies in making what might initially appear as an expensive, maybe aspirational purchase, suddenly feel much more attainable. It just neatly spreads that financial outlay over time.
Okay, so it breaks down the big number.
Exactly. And it's defined by a few very specific characteristics. Firstly, it is inherently installment-based.
Right.
This means your payments are meticulously split over a set period, which could be, as brief as a couple of weeks or maybe extend to a few months, depending on the provider and the size of the purchase.
Okay.
Secondly, and this is a significant psychological and financial draw, many providers prominently advertise their services as often interest-free.
That's the big one, isn't it? 0 interest.
It's a huge hook. This absence of a traditional interest charge makes BNPL appear profoundly more attractive than, say, conventional credit cards or personal loans, which, as we know, often come with pretty hefty interest rates.
For sure.
Thirdly, while some BNPL services might levy small administrative or service fees, maybe if you reschedule a payment or something, these charges are generally quite modest, especially when you compare them to the compounding interest typically associated with traditional credit.
Okay, so lower fees, generally.
Generally, yes. And finally, and this is a real game changer compared to older models, the consumer benefits from immediate gratification.
Yeah, the instant part.
Exactly. Unlike the traditional lay-by system, where you patiently waited until the full payment was complete before you could take your goodies home.
I remember those days, waiting weeks, sometimes months.
Right. With BNPL, you walk away with, or you receive, the product immediately, right then and there.
Wow.
This instant ownership, without the full upfront financial commitment, is a really potent incentive in our, immediate access world.
Absolutely. So what kind of things are people typically buying with BNPL?
Well, these services are commonly deployed for what we might call significant discretionary purchases. Think along the lines of the latest smartphone, maybe a designer clothing item you've been eyeing, high-end electronics, or even things like holiday bookings or flights.
Okay, so not necessarily everyday groceries, but bigger ticket items.
Generally, yeah. They transform these sort of aspirational items from, distant desires into immediate realities. It bridges that gap very effectively.
That distinction with lay-by is really key, isn't it? It feels like a thoroughly modern digital reimagining of an age-old concept, almost like a souped-up lay-by system that's been turbocharged for the digital age, stripping away the waiting period entirely. Does that immediate gratification fundamentally alter our relationship with purchasing and debt?
Precisely. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
While the concept of deferring payment isn't new, I mean, traditional lay-by systems have been a staple of South African retail for decades, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Letting consumers secure an item by paying it off over time. But BNPL represents a significant evolution. It's the transition of that long-standing consumer need for flexible payment options into the digital age.
Okay.
Supercharged by modern technology and, crucially, seamless integration into online checkouts. Platforms like PayJustNow and Payflex, they're prime examples of this evolution here.
Right, the local players.
But the crucial difference, as you highlighted, is that immediate gratification. Lay-by required patience, BNPL offers instant ownership.
Yeah?
And yes, I think that fundamentally shifts the psychological dynamic.
How so?
Well, it kind of blurs the line between wanting something and actually having it. And in doing so, it subtly reframes the concept of debt. It's not debt, it's just a payment plan or a budgeting tool.
Ah, the language again.
Exactly. And they can have really profound implications for consumer behavior,
Yeah.
sometimes without us even realizing it.
And here's where it gets really interesting for us in South Africa. The reports and analyses describe BNPL's growth here as nothing short of explosive. Why is this happening now? What are the specific catalysts, the perfect storm of factors that have led to such an incredible boom in our local market? It feels like it came out of nowhere almost.
Yeah, it does feel sudden, but you're right to call it a perfect storm. It's not just one isolated factor, but a really powerful convergence of economic pressures, technological advancements, and significant demographic shifts.
Okay.
These are creating absolutely ideal conditions for this BNPL boom right across South Africa.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating, if sometimes concerning, interplay of forces.
Let's break those down. What's the first factor?
Okay, firstly, we probably have to acknowledge the regulatory environment's role, particularly in fostering Fintech innovation.
Right. So the government stance.
Yeah, to some extent. Our government, through various initiatives and just a generally encouraging stance towards financial technology, has actively, perhaps unintentionally, paved the way for services like BNPL to develop, gain traction, and scale pretty rapidly.
Interesting. So a supportive environment.
Relatively speaking, yes. This ecosystem has allowed new financial solutions to emerge and thrive, often filling perceived gaps in the market left by traditional players.
Okay, what else?
Secondly, we're experiencing some pretty profound demographic shifts. South Africa has seen a substantial increase in its working-age population over recent years.
Right, more potential consumers.
Exactly. This demographic bulge translates into a larger cohort of financially independent consumers who are actively seeking payment options that resonate with their modern, often digital-first lifestyles.
And younger generations.
Oh, yes. And critically, it's the younger generation, specifically Gen Z and millennials, who are exhibiting a really powerful preference for these kinds of interest-free extra credit sources like BNPL.
Why them specifically?
Well, they are digital natives, right? They're inherently comfortable with online transactions and often quite budget-conscious despite wanting access to things. So for them, the convenience, the flexibility, and the seamless online integration of BNPL are incredibly appealing. They've kind of grown up with instant access and instant gratification as the norm, and BNPL just fits perfectly into that expectation.
Okay, that makes sense. But you mentioned economic pressures. That sounds crucial.
It is. Perhaps the most critical and undeniable factor, the one that profoundly shapes the landscape for BNPL, is the harsh economic environment that South Africans have been enduring for a prolonged period now.
Tell us more about that.
To truly grasp the gravity of this, just imagine the everyday South African household budget. Compare trying to manage it in, say, 2016 versus today.
Okay.
Their nominal income, the actual amount they take home, has barely crept up by maybe 2% over the last 8 years. It's almost negligible.
Wow, only 2%.
Yeah. Yet the cost of absolute essentials has just exploded. Electricity tariffs are up a staggering 135%.
135. Crikey.
Petrol prices have surged by 72%.
Yeah.
And cumulative inflation has hit a considerable 44% overall.
It's brutal.
It means that consumers applying for debt counseling in 2024 had, effectively, 42% less purchasing power than someone in the same boat back in 2016.
42% less. That's huge.
It's immense financial pressure.
Yeah.
It means families are genuinely struggling, making impossible choices at the grocery store, maybe deciding between fresh food or keeping the lights on, or facing disconnection notices.
Yeah.
So for someone under this relentless financial siege, the promise of pay in 3, interest-free, for something basic like school uniforms, or a new fridge when the old one finally dies, or even unexpected car repairs,
Oh.
it isn't just convenient, it can feel like a potent lifeline.
Or at least the perception of one.
Exactly. BNPL steps into this immense void, offering this sort of mirage of affordability where traditional wages simply cannot keep pace with the rising cost of living.
That's a powerful driver. And the last factor.
Finally, the immense e-commerce surge has been an enormous catalyst. Online sales in South Africa grew by a remarkable 29% in 2023 alone.
29% in 1 year.
Yeah, reaching a staggering 71 billion rands. And projections indicate it will likely exceed 100 billion rands by 2026.
Huge numbers.
Massive. And BNPL services have very strategically piggybacked off this digital tidal wave. They've integrated seamlessly, almost invisibly, into the online shopping experience.
Making it super easy at checkout.
Effortless. It makes purchases feel effortless at that crucial point of sale, literally the click of a button. A 2023 study dramatically illustrates this shift. 56.5% of respondents said they use BNPL for online purchases.
Over half.
And a significant 41.1% used it for travel bookings. This reflects a profound shift in consumer behavior and the deep, almost indispensable integration of BNPL into the online buying journey. So these factors intertwined really create an irresistible environment for BNPL's rapid expansion.
So it really is that perfect storm. Economic pressure, pushing consumers towards flexibility, tech adoption making it easy, changing consumer habits, especially among the young. Given all these powerful drivers, the numbers reflecting its growth must be absolutely staggering, painting a clear picture of this monumental shift.
They are indeed staggering, yeah. And they really underscore the truly massive scale of this financial shift we're witnessing. The projections aren't just impressive, they're genuinely transformative for both the retail and financial sectors.
Give us some figures.
Okay, well, BNPL payments were expected to grow by a very robust 22% in 2023 alone. That's a clear indicator of its accelerating momentum.
22% growth in a year.
Yeah. And looking at a slightly broader horizon, the actual volume of transactions between 2022 and 2027 is projected to demonstrate a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR.
Right, the average growth year on year.
Exactly. That's projected at 26%. That means this growth is sustained and really powerful over several years.
26% CAGR.
Wow. And research estimates that the total value of BNPL payments in South Africa could reach $1 billion, which translates to roughly 17.8 billion rands.
17.8 billion.
With an impressive 10.6% annual growth rate extending all the way through to 2029. Ultimately, by 2029, these payments are projected to reach an astounding 1.78 billion US dollars.
Which is?
Approximately 31 billion rands.
31 billion rands by 2029. That is a monumental figure. It just shows how embedded this is becoming.
Absolutely. These figures aren't just abstract numbers. They represent a significant chunk of consumer spending actively shifting towards this model. It indicates a profound and ongoing transformation of our retail and financial landscape.
Moving away from traditional payment methods.
Towards these flexible digital alternatives. It's a clear signal of BNPL's enduring presence and its growing influence in the South African economy.
Okay, 31 billion rands is something else. It makes you wonder then, with such rapid growth and adoption, who are the key players actively shaping this dynamic market here in South Africa? It sounds like there must be a lot of innovation and fierce competition heating up in this space.
You're absolutely right. The South African BNPL market is incredibly dynamic. It's a real battleground of innovation, actually. You've got several key players, some homegrown heroes, and others with significant backing.
Right.
Each bringing their distinct models to the table and vying aggressively for market share. It's quite something to watch.
So who's leading the pack?
Well, leading the charge in some critical metrics is PayJustNow. They proudly boast an impressive customer base of over 1.3 million individuals in South Africa.
1.3 million users.
Yeah. And they reported a staggering 105% year-on-year growth in 2023.
Double the size in a year.
Essentially, yeah. Founded relatively recently, back in
Yeah.
2019, PayJustNow empowers its users to split their purchases into 3 convenient interest-free installments.
Okay, the pay-in-3 model.
Exactly. And they have an extensive network of over 2,000 integrated merchants, 2,005 to be exact.
Wow, lots of places use it.
Definitely. And what's particularly noteworthy about PayJustNow is its strategic ownership. It falls under Weaver Fintech, which is a subsidiary of Home Choice.
Ah, Home Choice, the retailer.
The very same. Traditionally, a well-established omnichannel retail player, Home Choice has made a significant strategic pivot, now heavily focusing on fintech.
Leveraging their customer base.
Precisely. That leverage of an existing customer base and their robust retail infrastructure gives PayJustNow a distinct advantage, and it shows in their growth. They are actively gaining over 100,000 new customers every single month.
100,000 a month. That's
Oh, yeah.
incredible momentum.
It really is. It's a powerful testament to their rapid expansion and compelling appeal.
Okay, so PayJustNow is huge. Who else is significant?
Then we have Payflex. Now, Payflex holds the unique distinction of being the first BNPL provider to actually launch here in South Africa back in 2018.
The pioneers.
Kind of, yeah. A comprehensive 2023 survey revealed that Payflex enjoyed the highest user recognition, with 39% of BNPL users immediately identifying them. So, strong brand awareness.
Okay. And their model.
Their model is a popular pay-in-4 approach, meticulously spreading payments over a 6-week period.
Pay-in-4 over 6 weeks. Got it.
And their growth trajectory has been equally, if not more, astounding. They reported an incredible 10-fold increase in sales volumes between 2021 and 2023.
10 times.
And get this, an eye-watering 250 times increase since their inception in 2019.
250 times. That's astronomical.
It's hard to even comprehend that kind of growth. Their merchant network now comfortably exceeds 1,500 online stores, serving over 200,000 end users. Payflex has clearly carved out a formidable presence and remains a major, enduring force in the market.
So PayJustNow and Payflex are the big two, it sounds like. Any new players shaking things up?
Definitely. Beyond these established leaders, we're witnessing exciting new entrants and innovative approaches emerging from both traditional banks and nimble startups, actually.
Like who?
Well, Time Bank's More Time is a prime example of a traditional financial institution embracing the trend.
Okay, Time Bank jumping in.
Yeah. This offering ingeniously integrates BNPL directly into their digital banking ecosystem. It provides customers with 3 interest-free installments spread over 60 days.
So BNPL within your existing bank app.
Exactly. It essentially embeds BNPL within a broader, presumably trusted financial framework.
Interesting approach. Any others?
And then there's Float. Float is a particularly innovative South African BNPL startup. Last year, Float successfully raised $11 million US,
Wow.
which is approximately 195 million rands from Standard Bank, no less.
Big backing from a major bank.
Huge backing. This substantial funding is earmarked for the ambitious rollout of its card-linked installment platform.
Card-linked. How does that work?
Well, what truly differentiates Float is its unique methodology. Instead of extending totally new lines of credit, it intelligently leverages customers' existing credit card limits to create manageable installment plans.
Ah, so it uses the credit you already have.
Precisely. They claim to already work with nearly 7 million pre-approved credit card holders in SA. So they're effectively tapping into a massive, already credit-vetted consumer base without incurring new credit risk for the consumer, or even themselves, in quite the same way.
That's a clever model. Different angle.
Very clever. These diverse and innovative models vividly illustrate the intense competition and the constant evolution driving the South African BNPL market forward.
It's clear this isn't just a niche or passing fad anymore. These are serious players with serious growth figures, attracting significant investment and rapidly building massive customer bases. It's a rapidly evolving landscape, indeed.